Double honor to the elders and apostles of great millstone, peace and salutations to the hopefully elect.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time, and times, and the time, and the dividing of time. Okay. Well, you know, these rulers over the earth, beginning with the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, they speaking great words, and right now, you know, they're talking about that. The big talk is about AI. You know, about how it's going to improve your life. You're seeing miracles on the left hand side. You know, things where people who have certain disabilities using certain things that on the left hand side are making you be able to use those disabilities that you couldn't use before, you know?
Paraplegic people.
Yeah.
Blind.
Yeah.
Not being able to hear. And all that ties in with the miracles of the beast that is going to happen pursuant to Revelation. I think it's maybe at the 21st chapter, 14, it goes into how that pretty much the beast, the RFID chip, is going to bring forth miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to tie into Jake wanting to take the sea here. And even guys that are so-called in this truth, they're going to be reconsidering because they were never rooted. And you got that 2/3 Charlemagne the God, along with that Judite woman Jess, you know, they was talking about it. Because pretty much the world knows that this is going to be implemented. The C to the H to the I to the P. The microchip, which is what the mark of the beast is. Pretty much the whole world knows that this is being pushed out, and you can see it by the stages that's going on with the technology, the AI, and what it's leading into. All right, but you had this nigga Charlemagne the God. He was saying now he don't know if he gonna take it or not. And same thing with the Judite woman. And if you saying you don't know, if you say anything but no, I'm not gonna take it, then you gonna take it. Because I don't know, it's gonna turn into a yeah. Because you're not sure. And then you got guys in this truth still blind to the fact that this is what the mark of the beast is. Because ultimately the spirit is not dealing with them. If you got niggas in the world that can see it, here it is, you self-proclaim this being the truth. And you're not even teaching it, you're still teaching the MOTB is sleeping with white women or sin, you know, then the Lord ain't dealing with you.
Yeah.
You're this close to the end, and niggas still don't know what the mark of the beast is. You ask them what the mark of the beast is, they saying they don't know. They scratching their head.
And you know, it's so spiritual that you brought that up, because I was looking at we must have been watching the same video. I saw a video with the brother from DMS Dallas, and the elder he brought up Charlemagne the God, and you know they were fascinated with the miracles.
I was watching Ariel's
Yeah, that's the spirit, because that's exactly what that. And you know what? I did a video on that. You know, basically you know, when you was calling me, that's why I was doing a video. But yeah, so they're fascinated. You could tell through the spirit that they're fascinated with the things that the left hand is doing right now. You know, so eventually it's no given. It's a given that they're going to take that chip, because the idea of not being able to eat, drink, buy or sell is going to scare a lot of people into doing it. And you know the thing about Jake, man, Jake is always caught up in the affairs of this world.
They don't have faith in the Lord.
Yeah.
They just talk with their lips, but they actually don't show. They don't trust in the Lord, man. They don't.
No, I mean, and they're more into, like the scriptures say, woe to them that go down to Egypt without, asking of me, So they trust in this system. That's the thing about Jake, and that's going to be Jake's downfall, is he trusts in this system. He trusts in this man. The scriptures tell you, trust, don't trust thy enemy. So this is what Jake has been doing, and every time Jake trusts in Esau, he gets burned every time, man. Every time. So continuing on, I'll start again. I mean, and speaking of great words, you got this regime with Donald J. Trump, and his slogan is "Make America Great Again," and so those are great words, because at one time America was great. It was looked upon as a place where people could go. That's why they called it the Great American Melting Pot, where you had all different nationalities coming here, and they've made their wealth, and we're pretty much the only people, unless you played the game, and you know what game I'm talking about. In order to win, Jake had to play that game, join sororities and participate in these rituals, which, speaking of rituals, that's what they were talking about with, what's the old boy name we just talking about last night? Gorilla Hebrew. Same thing. He might be going through a humiliation ritual in order to come up, because he already, last month, he denounced, being a Hebrew Israelite. So, now he's on the panel again, further humiliating himself, and this could be, a humiliation, a public humiliation video in order to fit in with Esau, so he could start really getting paid. He was bragging and boasting last year, but he was making over $300,000. Well, this year or earlier, that he was making over $300,000, which, $300,000, which he probably was making a lot more. Who knows, But at the end of the day, that's the thing about Jake. Jake is caught up in the affairs and entangled with the fashion of this world. But we know through the Spirit that the fashion of this world has gone away. And Lord willing, we're going to get those scriptures. But let me finish back here in Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Okay, he changes times. Right now, we're about to head into fall. What do we do with fall? Fall back. We go back an hour. Right now, we're spring forward. So you got daylight savings time. Once fall hits, we're going back an hour. So actually, you get an extra hour. This is how this man messes with the time. He wants to control everything, because in the scriptures, like the scriptures tell you, he wants to be like the Most High. And think to change times and laws, and this man is constantly changing laws. We got September is known as a time where they constantly change laws. There's laws are going to be changed in September, and as well as throughout the whole year. There's laws changed, but September is always significant, because they always change a lot of laws during September. And they shall give into his hand until a times divided, and dividing of time. So this man is in control over the whole earth, as is spoken of in Job chapter 9 and verse 24. So the earth is given unto the wicked. So we're under this wicked captivity of Esau Edom for a time period, until Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shuts him off, and takes him completely out of power.
And we're soon entering into that time.
Yeah. And you know, with all this going on, he has wore out the saints. I mean, we're tired, man. We got to go to work every day. I mean, you know, pretty much every, you know, got to go to work. You're paying bills you're constantly paying bills. You know, you have to pay for water, which I was thinking about that the other day. What sense does it make to have to pay for water, man? Water should be free to anyone who needs it, you know? Whether it's to bathe, whether it's to drink, whether it's to cook with, what have you. You shouldn't have to pay for water, man. It makes no sense, man. You know? But this man, he wants to control everything, you know? And this is another reason among many why this man has to be taken out of power, man, because he has deeply corrupted the 2/3 of Israel, you know? And they're gone with the fashions of this world, man. I want to get that scripture that you was talking about in Revelations.
Revelation 14.
14.
Try verse, I think 20.
I thought you said it was in Revelations 20 something.
Try 21. It's going into the miracles of the beast. Miracles. Beast can just be 13 and 14. Try to. God, man, this is what's being pushed out, and soon the whole world is gonna know.
Revelations 21, 13 and 14.
I got it right here. This is Revelation 13 and 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
Ooh,
So those miracles, it's going to be powered by the mark of the beast, which we know is the seed hip. All right, the microchip, whatever they call it, Neuralink or whatever name they put on it. That's what it's going to be, and that seed hip is going to be able to cure, you know, diseases. It's going to cause paraplegic people to walk normal, the blind to see, deaf to hear, the crippled to walk, things of that nature. So it's going to be doing miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, this system, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they shall make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So this man's New World Order, that beast system, all right, they gonna take that. A lot of these people, they gonna see these miracles that this chip is doing, and they gonna take it. And by them taking the C-hip, all right, that's still saying that Esau is their God. They're worshiping the devil, all right, Esau, through Satan, all right. So that's why those that take this C-hip, they're going to be burned by that fire, which is going into those nukes. The Lord is going to leave them here and melt them, literally, as he said. I will leave you here. I will leave you here and melt you. Go ahead.
Then that's spoken in Revelation chapter 14, 9 and 10, you know. So hey, that's scary, man. But like I say, as the scriptures say, ye err not knowing the scriptures. So Jake is erring because he doesn't know the scriptures. He don't understand what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna do, man. You know? Uh this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 4. No man that worketh entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. So the Lord has chosen those who are the elect to not be entangled in the affairs of this life, man. And the part of being entangled in the affairs of this life is taking this RFID microchip, man. You know, which right now, everything, as Elder Apostle Tohar said, is gradualism. Certain things that they're seeing, and you can see it through the spirit, that eventually it's leading into this microchip. Because see, that's how Esau does things. He gradually does things, and you know, you'll say to yourself, oh, that's not so bad. Oh, that's not so bad. No, that's not so bad. And then it leads right up to that microchip, and you'll say the same damn thing. Oh, that's not so bad. I gotta eat. My family's gotta eat, you know?
Exactly. That's Jake. That's what Jake gonna be worried about. His family.
Yep.
The things of this world.
Yep.
Alright? Jake mind is not on what's to come because they don't know. They wasn't given the knowledge.
Well, see, and then at the end of the day, there's that factor that the elder apostles brought up last night in GMS Dallas. You don't have the faith and you don't have the hope. So being that you don't have neither one, you know, you're going to eventually take this thing because you don't have no faith, man.
And you got to think, they didn't already prove that they would take it by taking the juice back in that magical year, 2020.
And Elder Apostle Tahar has been saying this for a long time. He said, you know, basically that was a dry run because really Esau was testing to see who would take it. And so they put a lot of pressure on people to take it, you know. And I remember that time specifically because at that time, you know, I was put up under that temptation as well, you know. But through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, I had people around me and I was looking at videos warning me about these things. So, you know, I wasn't in the truth, learning the truth yet, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, maybe a few months later on, I learned and I realized I made the right decision, but it was all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So now,
the Lord was dealing with you.
Yeah, so now that our temptation is about to head out, and like the brother said again, you know, those who took it, they're gonna, you know, I was listening to a guy the other day, and he said he took 17 of those things, man. 17. So it's like, damn, man. I mean, you know, you would think just one would do it, but you had to take that many. That just means they're using you as a guinea pig, you know. So eventually, yeah, someone like that is gonna take that. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. You know, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. So those who are the elect, they know that this world is passing away, so they're going to use what they need to use, and they're not going to abuse it, you know? Jake, he's caught up in and entangled, like the scripture said in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 4, he's entangled with the affairs of this lifestyle, so of this life. So he's going to take it, you know? If they tell you, hey, you're going to lose your job if you don't take this, you know, and a lot of people end up losing their jobs. Elder Apostle Tahar said, hey, go get another job, man. Just get another job. If the Lord is working with you, he'll find you another job. And a lot of times they would just, you know, just testing you just to see if you're going to break, you know, if you're going to fold or you're going to break, you know?
Yeah. That's what Esau do.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and I remember, you know, they did a lot of things. Call lawyer, how about shake out shot? 144. Yeah, so, you know, they did a lot of things. You know, they scared you. They use all these fearmonger tactics into getting you to do certain things to get you to mold you into their mindset and the mindset that they want you to be in. Because trust me, a lot of those guys that was pushing it, they didn't do it, you know. But they got you to do it. It's just like it's like, you know, back in the day when you was growing up, you know, there was dares. And there was always that one kid to try to dare you to go do something. Now, they had enough sense not to do it. But the idea of having power over your mind to get you to go do it, they'll have you go do it, you know? And then
dare you to do this.
Yeah, and if you don't do it, oh, you're scary. Oh, no, man, that ain't, you know, this, that, and the other, woo, woo, woo. But they're not going to do it, right? They're not going to do it. So that's how Esau is, man. And Jake got that same mindset, man.
Damn, that shit crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
got a good one now.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's just like when you was growing up, you always had somebody around you that was trying to get you to go do certain things. You know, I'm gonna see if I can guinea pig him into going to go do this, you know. And you always had somebody that was slow, you know. And sometimes you might have got caught up in it yourself. But then when you got wiser, you realize, oh man, he's just trying to set me up to do something, you know. And then you know, if you do it, you get caught up in it, or they'll tell on you, you know. So
tell his ass to do it.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do it. No, he's not gonna do it, but he'll get you to do it.
I want you to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how
you
know, yeah, but that's how Esau works. Esau works on it, but he's doing it on a grander scale than what Jacob do, you know. He's working on it on a grander scale because he's going to try to get the masses to fall up under him and say, hey, I can provide you food, I can provide you drink, I can provide you back with that same lifestyle. You know, you can get back to the normalcy. I'll bring you back to normalcy.
24-hour Walmarts.
Even though he was the one
that fucked it up in the first
place. Yes. All the reason why the things are going on like they're going on right now is because of him. Because nothing's never enough of him, man. You know? That makes me think of that scripture in Habakkuk chapter 2.
That's how Esau works.
Yeah.
Mess stuff up.
Yeah.
Problem, then solution.
Yeah. Oh well, that's that order out of chaos. You know, he comes up with it, and that's what's going to happen. You know, when things are going to get, the prices of the cost of living is going to get so high that the people are going to get outraged, and then he's going to like, well, okay, let's come up with a solution, and that solution is going to be the microchip. You know, which that's not the solution, but that's, in his mindset, that's his solution because he feels like he can solve all the problems. But he's the main one causing the problems. You see what I'm saying? So, but he's really playing the masses, and they don't see it. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright.
He's an unstable ass man.
Yeah,
that's in rulership and power.
James chapter 1 and 8.
He's doing everything out of chaos, contrary to the Bible.
Yeah.
And he's gonna implement a worldwide microchip in order to go back to the so-called norm. And that chip is what's gonna cause the destruction of the 2/3 of Israel, because they're the ones that's going to take it, along with these other nations, but they don't matter.
No, they don't care. We don't care about them.
But you know, the 2/3, they're going to take that, and they're going to get destroyed.
When you think about Jeremiah 4 and 22, where it says, you know, my people are sottish, meaning stupid. You know, so, you know, Jake, it's like what Dr. Trey said in his song, Been There, Done That. I was always told, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And that's Jake. He don't stand for nothing, so he falls for everything Esau puts out there, man. You know? Okay.
Thinking that is right.
Yeah.
Like sheep, literally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why sheep got to be led by a shepherd, a wise shepherd.
And right now, you have the prophets. Speaking of needing guidance. Oh shit. Oh, good. He didn't get ran over. Damn, I thought he was gonna run him over. But anyway, I start here again in Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold his soul. Oh yeah, I see. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Yeah, see, his soul being lifted up because Esau, Edom, is looked at as the creme de la creme of the world. You know, he has all the money, he has all the assets. You know, he has all the power. You know, but he's not right, man. You know. Jake is lost, man. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
He must be Bob Marley.
I don't know. Who cares, man? But the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, so those who are just, which is of the elect, they'll live by their faith. Faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that no matter what, that we'll get through it, you know? We know that relying on this enemy, Esau, has led to our downfall. We've seen that throughout the history. So now's the time to turn back to, you know, turn back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man, and hoping for that mercy, man. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. That wine means false philosophies. He has all these different philosophies of life, you know, that women are equal to men. You know, and so it's messed up the mindset of these women to where they think that they should get, you know, you give an example, we were talking about before the camp, the WNBA. They feel like they should be making the money that NBA players play.
Which they not as entertaining.
Yeah, they're not. You know, you watch the game, but it's nowhere near exciting.
And Jay just be watching because you got some good-looking women there.
And that's it.
To be honest.
And that's what you find yourself doing. You look, I'm like, oh,
majority
man,
of them are just lesbians. Yeah. And majority of them are,
majority of them are lesbians.
Yeah, nobody want to see that, bro.
Yeah. You know? And at the end of the day, they don't play as many games as Jake do anyway. NBA, they play 82 games. They play maybe 30, maybe 40 games at the most, you know? Because they would wear down if they played 82 games. And then you think about it, Jake plays 82 games in a season. And then not to mention, what if you have a long playoff? Playoffs could be anywhere from 18 to 20 games, you know?
Plus, I noticed in women's sports, they look like the women basketball, they get like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. They don't even get the full as the men do.
Yeah, it's 48 minutes in basketball, so that adds up to what, 12 minutes a half? I mean, yeah, 12 minutes a period. So,
like you said, they wear down fast.
Yeah, they wear down fast, man.
Even in boxing, they get like a minute off from what the men get. And they only go 10 rounds. Yeah.
And you still think you're on the level of a man, you know? And ain't nobody really watching women's boxing like that then. I mean, I know we was at the camp house, we looked at it, but it was probably looking at it because there wasn't nothing else better to look at the time. But other than that, man, you know, you want to see Jake box if you're going to watch a boxing match. That's more exciting than to sit there and watch two women, unless you just looking at them, because as men, we're visual creatures, so we looking at them, oh yeah, that's a good looking woman right there. I mean, like back in the day when, what was her name? Muhammad Ali's daughter was fighting. and she's a very good looking woman, you know. So I probably would have sat there and watched her fight, you know what I mean? Watched her box. But, you know, other than that, we wouldn't be sitting there to watch her to see if she's, you know, it's just, she's a good looking woman. If she can, you know, got a little boxing game, hey, okay, cool. But it's really, you know, we're visual creatures, so we just gonna look, you know. It's just like going back to what you were saying about the WNBA, you know. But but what we're trying to get at is that because of this man's philosophies, these women's minds have been delusional into thinking that they're on a level
They're
with a
very
man.
delusional.
Yeah, very delusional. When
I
you
noticed
think that you're supposed to make the equal pay, and now a lot of these women are wearing down. I was just looking at a video with Anton Daniels, where this woman, I don't know, she could have been an Edomite woman, but she could have been a Jake, who knows? But she was saying that she's tired of, you know, working full time. She wants to be at home with her family, which tells you what happens when you go against the ways that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua established, where the woman should be at home, take care of the household, you know, raise the kids, take care of the household, you know. But see, be submissive unto that man. But see, Eve don't want to see it that way because she's been caught up in that polluted wine that Esau's told her, hey, you know, you can get out here and make as much money as Jake. Which a lot of these women, they make more money than Jake and do less work. You know?
Be sitting in the office.
Yeah, all day long, man.
Right, telling you what to do.
And I mean, at the end of the day, they're not doing nothing of real value, man. You know, it's just like what the brother sent a video when he sent a post the other day about these women, man. Look at that. Here it is. Talking about women, ashamed of nothing, offended by everything, which, you know, you give Eve a constructive criticism, she gets offended, you know. Contributes to nothing, which most of these women, they don't really contribute to nothing of real value that's meaningful to a man, you know. And they're entitled to everything. They do very little, but they want so much, you know. It's like basketball. You women, you don't play as many games as a man do, but you want the same pay. That's delusional, man. Yeah. You know, and it's like I was watching this video, Pop the Balloon. It was a short. And this woman said she wanted to be showered with gifts and spoiled, what have you, right? And then so there was all these other guys, they popped their balloon. This one man, he popped his balloon. He didn't pop his balloon. He was like, okay. Because I guess he wanted to just really get down to it and find out something, you know. But he was like, okay, I see that you want this, that, and the other, right? But meanwhile, if a man do all that, what do you expect in return? What are you gonna bring in return?
Can't think of nothing.
Hey, bro, you must have saw the video. It's just it's just a spirit, bro. You know. And that's exactly what it was. She didn't know nothing. She couldn't give him no definitive answer to his question. Be a woman.
What's a woman?
Well, see, they don't know they're females, but they don't know what the definition of. That's why I try to make a point. You know, I don't always do it all the time, but we say women, but really these women are females, because when you look at the true definition of a woman is a servant unto a man, and these women are anything but that, especially our women, because they don't want to submit. They'll submit to their job. You know. They'll submit, or if they don't have a job, they got to go to the doctor. They'll submit to what the doctor tell them. Oh, the doctor told me to go to the doctor's office tomorrow at 7:15 or 8:15, whatever, you know. You'll go and do that, right? But when your man tell you go in there and go cook something, or hey, go clean up the house, whatever, or iron my shirt, whatever. Oh, that's like she feeling like she's in slavery. But meanwhile, this man is providing shelter, protection, guidance, because, you know, women are ruled by their emotions. And it takes a man, in particular, a man of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to guide, to guide the household, man. Make sure everything is going the way it needs to be going in the proper form. But see, Jake has been raised by women. Most of these Jakes have been raised by women, so they don't know how to properly do things in the right, correct way because they've been emotionally effeminate, So how they act out is through their emotions, So it just shows you how flawed Esau's system is with his philosophies, man. Not realizing that feminism, which that was a tool to weaponize, Eve against Jake, and it's messed up the dynamics between Eve and Jake to the point to where Jake says, "Shit, I got to get out this house, man. I can't be here."
That's the household.
Yeah. Even if he's a decent Jake, he wants to be there for his family or his kids. He can't because Esau has weaponized her to go against him,
And that threw off the household in order. And what that brings, feminine sons, emotional sons, whores for daughters, and sodomites, taking the man up out of the household. That's what that brought in.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly what that brought in.
Yeah.
And that's that warfare that Esau brought upon the households.
Yeah.
Primarily Judah, which is the head tribe.
Yeah.
Because Judah was that standard and role model to the other tribes.
On how to be.
Yeah, so since Judah fell, the head fell, the whole body fell.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though you have Northern Kingdom that got a close oriented family, but
even in certain situations, they're not all right.
they're really not.
That's why we need this. We need Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, because that when the Lord had to, get us to go off and to understand what happens when you don't follow the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. How things can be and how bad things can be when because I remember, and this always sticks with me all the time. I'll probably say this all the time, but I say it again. Elder Apostle Tahar said this: if it wasn't for, the curses that we're under are bad enough, but to make it even worse is when you got your woman going against you as well.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be your help. That's like the ultimate betrayal to a man, having this woman side with the damn enemy. And witnessing it, that's the ultimate betrayal because the woman is the glory to the man.
Yeah.
The helpmeet.
Yeah.
So that's like a damn slap in the face.
Yeah. So in the curses, the Lord has taken our glory away from us.
The man did that to the Lord by serving the idols.
Yeah. Going on, but at the same time, that was a way of showing, hey, in rulership, you got to see both sides of the coin. You got to see both sides of the coin. You got to see what it's like when you don't have a righteous rulership ruling over you, And even the other nations have to see this too. We not only did this apply to us, but this apply to the other nations. What happens? Because they're catching the hell too. We catch it because it's all about us anyway. At the end of the day,
Jacob and
but
Esau.
Overall, all the nations are feeling what it's like when this man. Because you got to understand, the scriptures say that he's the hammer of the earth. So him being the hammer of the earth, all the nations are suffering. So once we're back in rulership, beginning with Yahweh Shai and our king.
It's going to be a set of peace.
Yeah. And that King David as well. Then there's going to be that standard of peace, to where even the other nations are going to be like, oh man, this is way better than how, Esau was ruling, It's way better, even though they're going to be under us and submit to us. But life is going to be so much better,
Because they're not going to have to worry about being backstabbed and betrayed,
Mm-hmm.
signing different peace treaties and agreements, which Esau is known for breaking peace treaties
Yeah.
and still getting their damn resources and oil stolen and raped. I mean, taken advantage of
Yeah.
as a country, and they won't have to worry about all that.
Yeah. And see, part of that, those treaties are, let's say, for instance, there's a war between certain nations, and then Esau gets involved. He tries to play like he's the peacemaker, but at the end of the day, he'll tell you, sign this treaty, and we're going to do this, that, and other.
We'll help you. We'll fund you this.
But they see the resources that particular country that they're dealing with has got. So we're gonna, make them sign this peace agreement, whatever treaty, what have you, and we're gonna get those resources because we want those resources, because this man is never satisfied with what he has.
And Esau is good at causing havoc with these other countries and then going back to their media and painting a narrative like they the bad guy.
Yes.
The whole time, America the one that's fucking with them behind the scenes. But in a spotlight in media, they portraying like America just the victim getting attacked, and we're defending. They're defending themselves. And that's the spirit of Esau. He's always had a spirit.
Yeah.
Deceptive.
Yeah. His words are smoother than butter. So, being that this man's words are smoother than butter, he has the, as they say, the gift of gab. He just went to the point to where he was grunting and couldn't talk, to where the Lord has elevated him to the point to where, he has the gift of gab, and he can make you, he can sell you some swamp land, so good. And what he said, he could sell you some swamp land, and he speaks so well about it that you'll buy it. Somebody that's gullible enough that don't know his spirit will buy it. That's his spirit.
Nasty ass stuff.
Yeah. He'll talk you into getting that, man. But that's how he works.
Still take that shit back.
Yeah.
That's the spirit of the devil. Being a mass deceiver.
Yeah. It's just like that old story where it says about that woman where she finds this snake and the snake was wounded, what have you. So she took care of the snake, did everything for it, and then one day when the snake was healthy and good, what have you, that snake bit her, and she said, well, why you bite me? I've been helping you, protecting you, woo, woo, woo. Well, I'm a snake. That's what I do. And
I saw a video.
And that's Esau.
I read a little documentary on that. This woman, she found a baby alligator. I Edomite, of course.
Of course.
Hey, that's in the scriptures though. A charmer. Who shall pity a charmer? Get that.
Okay.
But Edomite woman took in a little baby alligator and raised it all the way until that mother got fully adult stage, 8 feet long. And she was warned that, that alligator instinct's gonna kick in. You need to get rid of it. But she said, she was saying how it loved her and all that because she raised it. And one day, she was swimming in the pool. She had it in a pool, which alligator's supposed to be in swamps. She had the alligator in the pool and she'll swim with it and all that. And one day, she went on her routine to play with the alligator. That mother bit her leg off and devoured her in pieces.
Yeah.
The animal instincts kick in.
And eventually, that was just the spirit of Yahweh outside that was put upon that alligator to do that. Just like that. What made me think about that woman the other day, and I'm pretty sure you saw it, with his Eve, she had this dog. I forgot what kind of pit bull, what had it. But the dog took on, bit her arm off. And not only did he do that, he mauled her Hashem outside telling you, hey, I'm not with you wicked ass women, man. So
Bring
these,
it up.
okay. Yeah, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?
So a little charmer, a guy in the circus, and he's playing with snakes and wild beasts, and he's wrapping snakes all around his neck and legs. And once he get bit, are you gonna pity him?
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead. Some more. Go to the next verse. You're not gonna pity him. Because it's in a snake nature to bite.
Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?
All right? Who shall pity that?
Yeah. So how can you pity someone that takes part in the same sin that you know, that person, you know, initiated you into, you know? Verse 15, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry.
Ooh. And that's going to, you can apply that to Esau. A
Yeah.
while he will
Yeah.
abide with thee, but once you fall, he is not going to tarry to overthrow you. Get verse 16.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. We brought this out. Ooh, man, we brought this back when we was at the park. I remember one of these scriptures we brought out back in the park.
Yeah.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Verse 17.
All right, so these Edomites, they're not satisfied with blood. Going into what the brother was saying, you know, they make all these little agreements with these countries, then go back and do the exact opposite. Break it. Steal their resources, ravish them, you know, break all their agreements. Because ultimately, this man is not satisfied with blood. Here is he got the rulerships, all these other nations, they're on one accord somewhat. Not anymore, because they're fed up, but he wants more. He's not satisfied with blood, man. He conquered the tribes. He's in rulership. He got all these nations in submit, you know?
Yeah, that and all that goes back to, and we'll go back into it again, Habakkuk chapter 2 and 4. Okay, let me go in verse 17.
Roll it out.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Verse 18. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Yeah. So you know how sometimes a person will act like they're really with you when you're going through adversity, right? But at the end of the day, they go to somebody else and they'll, you know, talk about you. And that's what he said. Yeah, yeah. They'll talk about you. You know, they'll talk about you and celebrate, because they like to see you fall, man. You know, you've had people, you might growing up, you know, Jake can be that same spirit. He's in that same Edomite spirit. He'll act like he's there for you, but at the end of the day, you know, he'll do whatever he can to get over on you, man. Whether it's to sleep with your woman or you know, mess you out of some money, whatever, you know. Especially when you're going through it. That's why the scriptures tell you, you know, basically, roughly paraphrasing, a real true friend is the one that's there for you during the adversity, bro. Because anybody can be there when you're going good, you know. You know, you won the lotto, you got people all out of the, you know, out of all the you know, come out of all places trying to be around you. You know, the elders brought that out last night, where up in Dallas, where, you know, it could be a fool, and people roll with that fool like he's, you know, he has everything, he knows everything, like he's a wise man. You know, they treat rich people as they're wise people. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Even though it's dumb as hell what he just said, but they'll roll with it because this man has money and they feel like, okay, if I agree with him somewhere in there down the line, I'll profit from him. He'll give me something. He'll give me something monetary, you know, because I'm rolling with him, you know.
Yeah, Jake can use you.
Yeah, and Esau's the same way. He'll do the same thing, and that's his spirit. And that's why I say Jake is in that same spirit of, they're in that Edomite spirit, bro. The scriptures tell you, learn not the ways of the heathen. And that's exactly what Jake has done. He's learned the ways of the heathen. And he's in that spirit. Now, going back to Habakkuk chapter 2. And I'll start again. Behold, his soul which is lifted up. Habakkuk 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up, talking about Esau, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. That's the elect. Yea, because he transgressed by wine, that wine is from his philosophies. He's a proud man, neither a keeper at home. And the brother was just bringing that out earlier about he'll go to other nations, you know, instead of just staying in his lane, you know, he'll go over here to other land and do
Mess
this and
it
that.
up.
Yeah.
And paint the narrative like once they retaliate.
And he first started that right here. Our people, Gad, well, you know, the northern kingdom was already over here. And then, you know, Gad showed them a few things, and then they turned against him, you know. They started ravaging the people, the women, you know. Because he transgresseth with wine, he's a proud man, and neither keepeth at home. He enlargeth his desire as hell, meaning he's never satisfied, and is at death. He cannot be satisfied. He gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth up unto him all people. And that's exactly what he's going to do with this microchip, man. You know, he's never satisfied. We're paying taxes. You pay taxes on food. You pay taxes on your utilities. You pay taxes, period. You know, every year we have to pay taxes. You have to put, if you own a house, you have to pay taxes on that house, you know. Now I heard if you reach a certain age, which very seldom do Jake reach 80, but if you reach 80 and you've got your house paid, you know, you don't have to pay taxes. But see, they know 80 is a hard range to get to, especially if you're Jake.
My granddad reached 85, he still had to pay that shit.
His house was paid off?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. And most likely he was, because he worked at
He paid cash for that.
oh yeah, I remember me telling you that, yeah. Yeah, so,
On
you
the
know,
owner.
yeah, so they tell you right there, man, at the end of the day, man, you born and you end up paying taxes, and you die paying taxes, man. You can own a home, paid it off. Like the brother said, his grandfather paid it full in cash, and he paid all the taxes on it, and he paid them all the way up till he passed away, you know, and the taxes were still due. So that just tells you, man, this man, you know, that's why the scriptures go into Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them who decree unrighteous decrees. And this is what this man does, man. You know, having to pay for water, that should be your, you know, a given right to be able to do, to be able to use water, you know, when you need it, you know. But this man, he's not upright, man.
No, not upright. He's the wicked.
And this is, like I say, you know, he enlargeth his heart. He can never be satisfied. And he heaps all nations unto him, and he's going to do it. One of the biggest ways he's going to do it is through this RFID microchip, to make everybody as one. But there's one nation that stands apart among all the nations, and that's the nation of Israel.
Come on, man. So, you know, more reasons why we need to get up out of here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if this place was to go any longer, as it says in Matthew 24, no flesh shall be saved.
I got a precept. I got two precepts. I'm gonna get that one, and I get this one. Because this made me think about what you just said right there. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Yeah, so we're you know, this place is destroying us, man. You know, we're you know, the scriptures say we'll be eating our defiled food with the heathen. You know, you do the best you can, but really it's Esau Edom that eats the best of everything, you know?
What do Jake eat? Popeyes, McDonald's,
Pork.
KFC. Yeah, pork.
That's all Jake talk about is pork, man. Like, God damn, nigga, can't you understand that this shit is killing our people? You know, this shit is literally killing our people, and you still want to eat this shit, man.
Feet swollen all up, toes missing, gotta get amputated. Got pus shooting out your. Gotta take 30 pills a day, blood pressure pills, high blood pressure. Your ass can't walk good. You know, all of that behind bad dietary, man. And the thing is, the Lord gave us what? Dietary laws.
Yeah.
On stuff that we can't eat that's beneficial to our bodies.
Yeah.
But Jake don't know that.
No.
All Jake know is pork.
Yeah. But see, that goes back to Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22.
Yeah.
You know?
Jake made a covenant with death.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and 11. And it's going down to verse 13. And many prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And that's exactly what Esau, he could claim him as a false prophet as well as these Jakes out here that have been basically going along with the enemy, you know, taking the 501c, not giving the real truth, you know. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end shall be saved.
Ooh.
Now I'm gonna skip down to verse 21. For then shall be great tribulations, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Yeah, so we're about to head into a time like no other, man. A time like no other. Not even when the time of Noah. That was bad. You think about it. I mean, water all, you know, rise all the way up past the mountains, you know?
Damn.
People dying of an excruciating deaths, you know? And let's go into the point here is made, what you was bringing out, Taz. Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And we see it through the Spirit that the Lord is a God of His word, because matter of fact, they were talking about it. Even Esau brought it out that August the 5th was going to be one of the fastest days of the year.
And you think about it, we already almost in 2026.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
4 months left, maybe 5.
Yeah. We're in the middle, basically, we're almost in the middle of August. So September will be around the corner before you know it.
4 more months and we in 26.
Yeah, it'll be fall before you know it. You got the kids getting ready to start back to school next week. So, you know, it's going to pass real fast now. You know, so the Lord is definitely, we can see it through the Spirit that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is speeding up that time. And that's for the elect's sake, man. Because if not, this madman will kill everybody, man. Matter of fact, let me go into another scripture.
Madman sparing none. Like a madman sparing none.
Chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. Yeah, so, he rules this place in an evil spirit. And he's not even good to his own self, let alone his own people. His own people are suffering behind his own rule, by his rulership. And see, that's the difference between Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because once we're in the kingdom, we're not going to suffer no more. Even your wickedest nigga that's ninja that's in Israel right now, he's not going to suffer. He's going to be good, man. So,
Charleston White.
Yeah. I mean, whatever guy you can think of right now in Israel, amongst Israel, P. Diddy, any other person that you can think
Well, you
of.
can't escape that P. Diddy.
Oh my goodness.
Can't escape his ass, bro.
No.
P. Diddy, all them niggas, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just called out. There's a lot more guys out there besides him. He's just one of those guys that got called out. But other than that, man, I mean, there's a lot of wicked jakes out here, but they're gonna be right because the Lord's gonna fix it to they just what it is. Those were not those who were chosen of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to be of the elect.
But guess what though? Through the loins of the elect, they're gonna be brought back in their righteousness.
Yeah. That stony heart is gonna be gone. The laws are gonna be in their inward parts, and they're gonna be right, man. That's just like we was listening to Heavy D last night. And I ain't gonna lie, he was, one of my favorite rappers. But one time he passed, and the elders, they used to be on the oil tables. They used to sell oils, right? And so Elder Apostle Gabar was telling them about some oils. And he walked by and said, yeah, man, I know all about that, brother. I already know all about that. And kept going, just real rude to Elder Apostle Gabar. And maybe 10, 15 years later, I say 15 or maybe 20 years later, he ended up dying, So, you can imagine the Lord talked to him like, hey, you was talking to my man, and you was talking to one of my men in a very disrespectful way. And I'm pretty sure he was shamefaced behind that when because the Lord bring you up there and he talks to you and tells you, man, calls you out for what you done or what have you, And I imagine he felt some kind of way when he found out, oh, that's the man of the Lord,
Yeah, you just brushed him off like that.
Yeah, disrespected one of the Lord's men, man. So.
No, he had money to buy the oils.
Yeah. But, I mean, like I say, that's why we oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying.
But that just shows you, and me and you talked about this back in the day when we was in the park. You have to be mindful of how you speak to, because you don't know who the true men of the Lord are, man. You have to be mindful.
Even like random guys that come up past camp.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about no bug out, but
yeah,
it might be the Lord might send an angel, and that's why I started thinking like, remember that one dude that came up
last night?
Yeah. When we was closing out.
Yeah. That was the same guy that was up early. That was the same guy that was up early.
What do you mean up early?
I mean, he was there early. He came, he left, he came back. That was the, he's an Irishman.
I ain't talking about his ass.
Who you talking about?
The one when we was closing out that.
Oh, them Jakes.
Yeah, that black dude that came up and he was looking at, he was just staring at one of the brothers. He turned out to be a bug out, but I started thinking, before that I was thinking like, dude might be an angel. You never know who, Lord might send an angel around for whatever reason. But he ended up being a Muslim demon, but...
Yeah, but he ain't supposed to be getting down on his knees like
God,
that in front of another brother.
He was a demon, bro. That was before he did all that.
That's why the scriptures, John went down to worship the angel, and the angel told him, see that you do that not, because
he got
I have
down.
a testimony of your house shot just like you do.
Yeah, got down because he was doing that Muslim shit. That's why Ariana was like, nah, we don't do that. Yeah. But he He ended up being a bug out.
Oh, I mean, well, you know what? That's why the elders are the elders, because they, you know, that's why they shut it down. That's why they're the shepherds, the true shepherds and true men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua uses. I'm so thankful that the Lord has blessed us to have men like Elder Apostle Ricard here, Elder Apostle Ricard, Elder Apostle Ramlob that's here currently, and along with our, you know, the beloved camp leader,
Elder Yashawama.
Yeah, Elder Yashawama and Elder Ariala, because we have, you know, those true men learned how to lead, and they're leading men through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So we know how to conduct ourselves in a decent way when we're out here on the highways and the hedges, man. You know? So the water Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for that.
Kai, you got any more precepts? Lord willing, this was edifying. We're able to close out, give God praise and honor. Del Barnabas to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations down to the hopefully elect. Lord willing, this was edifying. We'll say shalom.
Shalom.